Good evening, everybody. We're live here tonight for the season finale of the Wednesday night 1987 Retro Cup. As we are awaiting qualifying here, we are going to go ahead and jump over to the national anthem for some pre-race festivities.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening, race fans. As Jason Raymond brought us live and in living color, then we went off to the Joshua Rutherford Mullet Music Productions renditions of the national anthem. I love that rendition. I love his version. He also has a rock version out there that we haven't displayed for the Crooked Line Racing broadcast just yet, but we will eventually. Folks, 1987 Retro Cup season series season finale tonight, double points night. Our top three drivers are separated by 15, 16, 17 points between the top three drivers. Double points night. That's going to add a huge wrinkle into tonight's event. And then True Sim Productions came through with a banger, $30 to tonight's race winner. Qualifying is already out there on track, but before we get into the qualifying times, let's see if we can pull up the keys to success here at Talladega really quick, as we see what it's going to take for one of these drivers to be victorious and maybe bring home a championship. You see bullet point number one, taking care of your car. That's always for certain, no matter what track you're at, taking care of your car. But that first point and the second point, they go hand in hand, avoiding the big one. We're going to have about 17 to 20 drivers hit the grid out here tonight, and this track car combo is a handful. Very, very, very tough to get around this track. So you can already know if something goes wrong at a track like this, it's normally big. So avoiding the big one. And right there, make friends, not enemies. At a plate track like this, the draft is everything. If you can find you a buddy late in the race, you can go from virtually dead last to winning this event in the blink of an eye, because the draft is so heavy. Then you see right there, when is it time to push and when is it time to be conservative? Right? That's all up to each driver. You'll see some drivers elect to not even qualify out here tonight. I see a few that have not even turned a lap yet that are really fast drivers, but they're doing that because they want to start at the back. It's push versus conserving. Their fuel load tonight, they can go between 16 and 21 laps depending on the draft and how the drivers are taken to the track. And then 5 total tire sets. I'm super excited tonight. Me and Raymond, we have had a blast calling this series all season long. We're not 100% sure if Season 2 is coming back or not. But we do know something's in the works, as we're going to actually see if there's somebody out on track. Here's Mr. Stephen T. Johnson. We're going to ride on board with him. As you see, he's going around this 2.5 mile oval. Actually, I think it's a little bit longer than 2.5. It is 2.65 in length. As we're basically just killing time now, waiting for Jason Ramon to get back from grabbing his drink.
We are back.
He had to go grab him a juicy juice.
I had to go grab me something because got a lot of talking ahead of me. Had to make sure, I had some hydration, some liquids. So we are riding on board here. 3 minutes left in qualifying. So we're gonna see a test pit stop right here. Actually, these cars are super hard to pit with. As you see, Zimmy definitely went in way too fast. All of them definitely went in way too fast. The brakes on these cars, they're 1987, so they are not very good. And you're going about 200 miles an hour coming to the corner there, so that's something to watch for as Steven Johnson slides through his pit box and taps the wall a little bit.
Yes, braking here tonight is going to be a chore all night. 1987's technology. I mean, that's just, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So you'll see drivers doing mock pit stop runs. As we're going to see if we can dial up Mr. Stephen T really quick. I know he got in here fairly late in terms of practice, but I mean, Talladega, you're basically flat-footed and turning, but you gotta have some racecraft, and we know Stephen T. Johnson has that. He's got him 2 race wins already this season. Trying to actually see if he has more than that, but he's up in the booth with us right now anyways. Mr. Stephen T. Johnson, you are live in True Sim Productions booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
It's going good for me. As you're coming into tonight, I don't want to say you're in a must-win situation, right? Because there's 2 drop weeks out of the 12 races. Now, you did miss, you missed 1 or 2 races, I think.
Yeah, I've already missed my 2 drop races. I've already missed, so I won't be giving up any points tonight. So, not sure how the points are going to play out. It's just try to get as many points as you can, see what happens in the end.
And I mean, you are stout when it comes to these plate races. So you got yourself 3 race wins this season already, 7 top 5s, 9 top 10s. You are within distance of Chris Carroll just because of double points. Double points night is huge, right? If you win tonight,
forgot about that.
Right. If you win tonight and Chris Carroll parks the car on the hauler pretty early, I mean, this could be an upset of the century right here. A heist, really, right? I mean, 3 race wins, pretty impressive. And I remember Daytona. I remember how fast you was at Daytona. So, what's the outlook tonight, Steven?
It's a long race with a talented field. Try to keep the car with all 4 tires, preferably on the ground, and just try to be there at the end.
Hitting P3 at the end of qualifying. All right, I'm going to try to get somebody else up here, Steven. Thanks for the words, and good luck to you, boss.
Appreciate it. I'll try to put on a good show for y'all.
Absolutely, buddy, every time. That was Mr. Stephen T. Now we're going to bring up Mr. Zimmy. I sent Raymond down there to figure out who his family is that are watching, but now we got Mr. Zimmerman up in the booth live, living in the colors. Brian Zimmerman, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you, bud. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. You're sitting P2, so how are you doing, and who do we got to shout out tonight?
My sister and brother-in-law, Samantha and Andrew Hedden's watching tonight, so hope they were able to get tuned in, and my nephew Brody, hopefully he's watching, so hopefully we can put on a good show tonight. Season finale, so I think we should be a little bit behind Chris tonight. We'd have to have Chris have some bad luck for us to pull off this championship, but still hoping for a top 2 or 3 in the season finals. So just looking for a good night at Talladega.
Bubba, I think the way the points have shaken out, I don't know if y'all are as far off, you and Johnson are from Chris as we initially thought. I think it's actually, especially double points night, right? I mean, that's 86 points for tonight's race winner, and then $30 on top of that, right? So that's a good night of racing. With Zimmy, good luck to you, buddy. We went a little long here, but shout out to let's see if I can. It's Samantha and Andrew.
That's it. That's my sister and brother-in-law and nephew Brody.
And your nephew Brody. Well, Brody, hope you're watching. Samantha and Andrew, hope you're watching. You get to hear the best broadcaster ever, and you get to watch Zimmy too, for what it's worth. So good luck tonight, Zimmy. And also, this is this Mr. Restrictor Plate right there. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, boss. Good luck. Alrighty, let's see if we can keep the grid music on, but not on for too long, if you know what I mean. If you watch some previous broadcasts, y'all know that Tanner has left the music go for a little bit too long. As Jason Raymond, let's see if we get it pulled up right here. Got the grid music in the back. The floor is yours.
Alrighty, I am here. I'm sorry, technical difficulties on my end, but the man that is going to be leading them to the green flag here tonight at Talladega for the season finale is Larry Bell on number 43 machine with Mr. Restrictor Plate. Brian Zimmerman starting at his outside. Starting in the third position here tonight is Steven Johnson with the number 1 with Chris Paul Hammis in the 3 car starting in the 4th spot. Jeff Clifton will round out the top 5 here tonight in that number 51 machine.
And then firing off in the 6th place spot outside row number 3 is going to be Mr. Frito Lay and the number 32, Thomas Freitas. Gail Butler, last week's winner when we had a fun run, same track, same car. He'll be firing off P7. And then 8, Garrett Wiles. 9th is John Vaughn. And then 10, Mr. Chummy Cummy and the Tummy Miller in the 06 car, rounding out the top 10 here tonight.
And then in the 11th place spot will be the number 69 machine for 4X Racing of Ronnie Morrison with Tyler Klimas starting the 12th spot with the number 38 machine. Also from 4X Racing, teammates side by side there. And then starting the 13th spot, we got the 24 machine of Troy Tarbuck with Brian Treadwell on the 48 to his outside. Then rounding out your top 15 here tonight is a 97 championship contender for Chris Carroll.
He is a contender, and we also know he is Rachel's favorite driver is Chris Carroll, number 97. And then, of course, you got Ramon sitting out there, but he is not really out there. J.R. Schomburg, Dustin Lamb, and Jacob Lamb playing shotgun to the field. 18 drivers going to look to take to Talladega. $30 on the line. Points championship on the line. Stakes were high. Then we put the money on the line, too, so that made it just a little bit higher. Got a good-looking group out here tonight as Zimmy with that Davey Allison-inspired paint scheme. Always, always, always a favorite out here.
He is indeed, as we are starting to see these drivers roll off the grid for one long, very long pace lap. Feels like forever when you're pacing around this track, but these guys are going to be warming up the tires a little bit, checking their belts, checking the steering wheel, getting all nice and comfortable as they get ready to go to battle for 70 laps here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway.
See if we can dial up Chris Carroll really quick as he is in the car there. Greg and Chris Carroll, you are live in the booth. You got a copy?
I get a copy, Tanner.
As you all are going around this track tonight, championship contender coming in, starting, I think, around the 15th place spot. What's the strategy? What's the outlook?
I'm gonna hang out till it's time. For the championship there, I gotta be smart and not wreck and all that good stuff. Well, I guess I gotta wreck twice, but yeah, we're just gonna hang out and see what happens here and see what these guys want to do before we go racing.
Alrighty, so you're going to try to chill out and let the race come to you. Well, good luck to you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Pull those belts tight and grab that wheel. Getting ready to be boogity, boogity, boogity.
Hey, we're doing 200 and something miles an hour. We could get killed here. We got to be smart, Tanner.
Absolutely, boss. Well, good luck to you, buddy, and maybe we'll be talking to you then still.
See you, bud. Thank you.
A little bit of an in-car interview for our points leader, Mr. Chris Carroll, coming into tonight. The 3 cars to really watch. That 28, he's starting outside row number 1. And then sitting P3 in the points and P3 on the grid. It's that 1, the Hot Wheels machine of Stephen T. Johnson. And then, of course, you just heard from the man right there, the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Carroll, starting in the 15th place spot. Double points night, anything and everything can happen. Fields in the hands of Barney Fife Jr., the flag man up in the flag stand. Let's see, as you see 2 tide rides back in the back, that's pretty cool to see them starting next to each other, or nose to tail like that. As a unique design of Talladega right here, Raymond. Look how far they got to pace after the pace car pulls off. That start-finish line is almost down to turn 1 as these ponies are getting ready to be let loose.
As the green flag is waving in the air here tonight, as Larry Bell gets a decent jump, Steven Johnson is shoving him already as they are under green here, going down into turn number 1 for the first time, as they're going to look to, I don't know, what do you think? Do you think they're going to look to single file out, or are they going to start racing right from the jump?
I don't know, but I'm seeing Chris Carroll may went off track.
As the caution is out,
What happened back here? It was telling me Chris Carroll went off track.
So we're gonna go back
He
and
did
look
go
here.
off track. Oh, did we have a little product of missing a gear right here? I can't tell what really happened here.
I'm not sure.
The camera angle changes right there at the last second. Let's see right here. Oh,
Looks like he might have lifted maybe, or checked up for the guys in front of him or something.
Oh, heavy contact for
Oh.
Troy right there. Tarbuck. See if we can jump on board with Tarbuck right here.
He lost his front bumper, and the hood popped up. That is a huge impact there.
On the brakes right here,
Nowhere
folks.
to go.
I mean, brakes have been a hot topic all night with our drivers during practice. Trying to hit pit road, exit pit road. They just don't work very well. And you're going to see right here. Listen. On the brakes, off the throttle. Car still just going. And that's going to be a fast repair. And you take a fast repair before you even get one lap done. I can't even interview Troy right now because I know he's not going to be a happy camper.
So that was not how you really want to start a race.
As the
Especially
grid
at a
music
track
was
like
going the whole time
this.
too. Haha, we got it off now though.
Oh man, yeah. At least you caught it early this time.
Yep. Let's see. Is anybody in the chat? Talk to us. Let us know who you got tonight. Who's your pick? As well, are we reckoned under caution? The 16 car. What is going on here, Ramon?
I'm not sure. Did he lock
Just
up the
checking
brake? I don't
up?
know.
Just
Yeah,
trying
I
to
think so.
get caught up to the field?
He did just get a whole new setup, so he could have just.
Oh, at least he kept it from
Oh.
getting damaged though, so that's a plus. Folks, I promise you the talent in this field is out of this world. Don't let that fool you. Brakes, man, brakes. They're weird, and you saw it right there. But kudos to Larry Bell getting him a lap lead. We're gonna see if we can dial up the old Belsky real quick. Have a quick little chat with him as he is in the car strapped in. Larry Bell, you're live in the booth. You got a copy?
I do, sir.
So Larry started out front. You missed the first wreck of a race. Car's looking good. 43 is looking sleek out front. How you like it right now, and how you like the car?
Car feels pretty good. I'm not out front very often, so it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but we'll see what happens here.
But Bell, you're out front. Caution came out, and you was not it. So that's got to be a steadfast improvement, right?
Absolutely.
You know I had to bring you up and poke at you a little bit. But in all seriousness, kudos to the pole. And man, oh man, you've been stout here lately, Bell. You need to give yourself a little bit more credit. You've been running really good as of late, brother.
Yeah, I got a really good draft with Steven Johnson and Zimmy there in qualifying.
Talk us through that start right there. Could you feel Stephen T beating your bumper down right then on the initial start of the race?
No, I didn't feel anything.
Oh wow, yeah, he was leaving a little bit of blue Hot Wheels paint on the back of your bumper back there, but no harm, no foul, right? Got you a good launch off. Well, good luck to you, Bell. Maybe we talk to you in this thing, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Have a good broadcast.
Yep, you have fun, buddy. So Jason, we'll give the viewers a little peek behind the curtain. I've heard that you got you a little sweetheart, maybe.
Oh God. I mean, yeah.
My question is she watching? That's the question.
Not sure.
What's her
It's
name?
very possible though. Her
Claire?
name is Claire.
Claire. If you're watching, how you do? I'm Daddy. I'm Jason's
God.
dad. He's a good kid. Just don't break his heart. Take care of him. And don't take him from racing. He's supposed to be racing with him Saturday night.
No, I'm sorry. That's already out of the question, sir.
We'll let it go this one Saturday. But Claire, you heard me.
No.
In all seriousness, though, I mean, the kid finally grew up. Ain't that something?
I know, right?
As these boys are coming to the choose cone right here. As that's a terrible angle for choose cone. Way to go, broadcaster. That camera was called choose cone too, by the way.
That was a
As
very bad juice cone camera.
Larry Bell took the inside, Stephen T took the inside. Jeffrey Clifton in the 51 said they hang, they drag everywhere we go. Going to go to the outside. Zimmerman. Did Zimmy? I guess Zimmy lost a spot there. I thought he was sitting P2, P3.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe how the caution came out. Maybe the inside lane was just trucking and the outside lane wasn't really moving. We know, although Bell said he didn't feel it. Stephen T. Johnson was pushing and shoving on that restart right there. So I would have to venture to guess the inside lane probably did get a better restart than the outside lane right then, and the caution came pretty quick.
Hey, we know Steven's good at restarts, so could have
That
just
he
been
is.
his timing.
That he is. Steven's good at everything, but he's really good at timing these restarts. As you're going to get a little bit of a glimpse of it right here, the one car inside row number 2. Also championship contender. We have 2 championship contenders sitting there on the second row. Chris Carroll. That's the dangerous row we saw with Carroll a while ago. He elected to start back in the back, and he's already had to take that car off-road once. He went down the grass to avoid calamity this early. So that's the risk right there.
He was testing out the new off-road tires that he just got installed on that machine.
Right?
So we're going to get ready to go back green here. Wait for that pace car to take the long-awaited left-hand turn. There it is, a sharp left-hand turn. Wasn't as aggressive as the other tracks, but we are waiting on Larry Bell. He is in control. He is the control car of this restart.
Look at the inside lane. Look how many people.
Insanely longer than the outside lane. It goes to show these guys don't want to have to fight for the bottom lane, as the green flag is out here tonight.
A very weird restart for most of the field. Top 3 got a great launch, but 4th place on back did not. They are running in concrete, basically. As top 3 actually single file out nicely. He's got a little battle right here for the 4th place spot, though. Tom Frito-Lay, Zimmerman outside. The all-black machine, that's Garrett Wiles, looking like the car just came off the showroom floor. And then
didn't even have time to paint it.
Tron and the number 3 car.
That car is so new, came right off the showroom floor, like you said. They didn't even have time to put anything on it.
Didn't paint it.
Super fresh.
Throw a window net on it, and we're gone. We're going racing, boys. So SDK's being really weird. It will not let me click people's name. Like, I have to click their name over and over before it actually switches. So if there's a wreck or something, just bear with me a little bit, because it's like a big delay in SDK right now. I'm not sure what's going on. A little technical difficulties, but we are staying green. We love that here, True Sim Productions. Please, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. Helps out a ton as we go back up front with Larry Bell and Stephen T. Johnson. Stephen T's all on the back bumper. Clifton may be looking down low. It may already be go time, folks. I mean, 70 laps sounds like a lot, but they click off pretty fast, especially if you get a green flag run. So you want to keep yourself in position at all times. And I thought Clifton was getting ready to push all his chips to the center table right there and go all in.
As I'm just looking at this, Zimmerman lost a good amount of spots off that restart again. I'm not sure if he's just trying to play it smart and save a little bit, because look at him. He's back there. He's back in the
I think he is
7th place spot now.
Let's see if SDK, I clicked on his name forever ago. There we go. Let's listen to that throttle. He's not wide open right there. Still not wide open. You can hear it at home. So yeah, Zimmy's playing a little bit of strategy right here. I think he sees how those boys are pushing up front. And I mean, you can get by with bump drafting here, but you gotta be careful when you see guys already starting to step the rear end out. It's 87 cars, right? 1987 technology tires. These were not really made to be going into corners at 200 miles per hour. A lot of load gets put on these tires. As the one car maybe looking to the outside to lead a lap here. Nope. Another lap down to Larry Bell as they are on lap number 8. Outside lane is forming, though. You have Tom Freitas and the showroom car of Garrett Wiles decided to go 2 by 2. Let's see if the high side get the momentum here as they go down the backstretch.
As they are side by side for that now 3rd place spot, as Steven Johnson is still pushing the 43 Larry Bell. Going to be looking to the inside going into turn number 3. Larry Bell up the track a little bit. Steven Johnson to the front.
That was one of those
Clifton trying to
situations
follow.
where it's hard to tell from up here if Larry Bell just kind of bailed on it, like bailed out and said, here, you can have it, you want it, or if he was really trying to push it and just kind of walked up the track. Like I just said, 1987 technology, these cars do not turn very well in these corners. You think Daytona, you're wide open. I promise you they are everything but wide open out here. They have to lift to make these corners, and when somebody's shoving you off in the corner like that, naturally you're going faster than what you normally are. We got people, a lot of people in the wall. Chris Carroll also went around as heavy contact. That won't be a caution, I don't think. That will not be a caution. Carroll has to get that car rolling. As now he just has to try to survive till the next caution period here. There's a 3-car pileup right there. Everybody just smacking the wall. See if we can go back and see what happened here. It was like synchronized. There was like 4 guys just went up right into the outside wall there.
So we see it starts with the 48 of Treadwell.
Oh.
Down and Ronnie Morrison. Oh, Carroll's lucky he didn't flip right there.
He is. Carroll races with a horseshoe, and that showed right there because these cars are they're very, very flip happy. But now he's got to be careful not to go a lap down as he is going down, getting into the trial right there, and Jeffrey Clifton's halfway down the backstretch going into turn 3, and they are going to be probably 2 seconds faster now with the draft, so you got to be careful. You just got to hope for that caution to come pretty quick.
That's all you really can do at this point, as these guys are now pretty much single filed out up front of the field. So we see Jeffrey Clifton got to the lead. Larry Bell back into the 2nd spot. Steven Johnson fell back a little bit.
Well, yeah, we missed that, huh?
Not sure what happened there, but they're gonna.
Who was that coming off pit road right there? Who was that?
I don't know, 96? I'm not sure.
Oh, that was J.R. Schomburg. That was crazy. See, I mean, people hit the
Chris
wall.
into the wall.
Carroll again?
Nah, Paul Amos.
Oh.
John.
Look at the time they are gaining on Chris, though.
As we got in chat, we got Tyler Johnson saying, let's go, Johnson. And Serby saying, how we doing tonight? We are doing all right. I thought you were supposed to be out here, Sam. What's going on?
Yeah, he's a girl. As we may have an outside lane starting to form once again here. It's just telling me Treadwell may be off the track again.
As these guys are starting to get a little bit dicey, moving around already a lot.
As this SDK is being super annoying. There's a huge delay when I click on somebody's name. Don't understand exactly what's happening here. But look at the gap top 2 have created for themselves. You got Freitas sitting in P3, put his name up here in the hat. You got the front row boys trying to make something happen, sitting 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They just need Cale Butler to get up there with them. But yeah, everybody has single filed out. That is not what Chris Carroll in the 97 wants to see for his championship hopes here tonight.
Not at all. I mean, it is still super early and anything is possible. We always say when we call these races, it's not over until you physically cross that finish line, because you could be running first, coming through the tri-oval, and finish last upside down somewhere. So it's never over until it's over, until you park that car, get out, and celebrate.
Our 2 championship contenders that are left within the pack, 28 in the 1 car right there. They just currently just slotted in 5th and 6th. Demi started P4. Johnson P3. So I think you're seeing a tale of 2 drivers kind of just staying on the same strategy right here. Did not like what they were seeing up front and probably just bailed out on the pack. But really, they're staying pretty close. Look, Zimmy's going way back. I think Zimmy expects something here. He's seeing them boys go 2, almost 3 wide up front, but you just got to be careful. You're never safe at a plate track ever, no matter where you're at, really.
It's very true.
Ooh, Clifton's on the apron right there. You got to be careful. These cars bottom out like crazy on there. Clifton, he's spinning it. If I was out there, I'd hit him right now.
Oh, Treadwell back across the track. Oh, Clifton's coming back. Oh, my, he is wheeling. Drift Simulator. Drift Simulator 2022.
I can only imagine what that Discord channel sounds like right now. For Jeffrey Clifton to go around while leading. If I was out there on track, I for sure would have T-boned him right then. It never fails. Every time Clifton spins here, I seem to find him. But look here. Deja vu back up front. Larry Bell is now the race leader. Got Stephen T. Johnson right there on his back bumper. Chris Paul Heymus right there with Tom Frito-Lay to his outside. Nope, going to dip back in single file. It does look like most of these drivers are just in the turning lap mode right now, just trying to click some laps off. What is happening with Treadwell? It's telling me he's off the track again.
As we got the one and the pushing the 43 again. This is flashbacks here from a couple laps ago.
Deja vu.
Deja vu, that's the word I was looking for.
And it looks like two cars can kind of tandem. Uh-oh, it's telling me Ronnie Morrison may have went around in a 69 machine. He did indeed. And he has significant right front damage there.
I'm surprised. I mean, we've had multiple wrecks and there hasn't been a caution. But I mean, I guess they did all kind of go off track. Spin. As I don't know. I'm really, there's a tire. I'm sorry. I just saw a tire sitting down there on the apron.
I did too. But look at that. Look at these two guys up front. It looks like you can almost tandem away from the field a little bit. Stephen T. Johnson and Larry Bell are just a little bit faster. I mean, just a little bit quicker. And it looks like Chris Carroll and Tarbuck, they have linked up, so they're going to be a little bit quicker. They're not going to be quicker than the pack, but it will save them from going a lap down as fast. They just need a caution, need one quick, because Larry Bell and company, they are on the same straightaway with them now. So they've already cleared about a quarter of the track distance between them. Cale Butler leading the second pack back here in P5 right now as well.
As we got Sam in chat asked if we want a third broadcaster up here. He wants to come get some of the fresh donuts we got up here.
I don't care.
We are gonna see if he is anywhere around here, in which he is not. So he guess he is making the walk up to the booth way up at the top of these grandstands here. He's got a long walk. He's going to be out of breath when he gets here, but...
outside lane, Foreman once again. Stephen T. Johnson saw the run from Tom, but it just dies out because nobody's really committed to go with it right now. They are just clicking off the lap count. As we are on lap number 18, Larry Bell washes high out of turn number 2. I thought Johnson was going to dip down below him, but I think Johnson... he's basically just content to ride, but Tom Freitas isn't. Freitas wants to get up there and lead him a lap into 32. And also, pit window coming up. Remember, folks, I told you they can go between 17 and 21 laps. They are on lap number 18 right now. We did have a caution early in the race on lap 1. So that would stretch the field out ever so slightly, but most of the field did not pit.
As we are side by side up here for the race lead, Tom Fried is going to be down on the inside. Larry Bell's kind of just hung out to dry out there on the outside all by himself now.
He is indeed, and we are joined by Mr. Samuel, we'll call him. Sam, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Good, how you guys doing tonight?
Doing good. So you were going to race, but you got home late from work, so still good to hear your pretty voice come in here and call this action with us. As this front pack getting a little dicey as we're approaching green flag pit stops in these 87s.
Yeah, we unfortunately ran late there, and when I came home, I got my PC turned on. Y'all were already going into qualifying, but I figured I could at least jump up in the booth, give you guys a hand. Looks like from the looks of it, it looks like you guys have a pretty good race going on so far. As you said, green flag pit stops are going to be coming up here pretty shortly.
Right, and championship contender Chris Carroll involved in an earlier incident. Lap 1 was involved. He elected to not qualify, so he started in the back, and then just 3 laps after that, involved in another incident. This time didn't bring out a caution for him. You see Ronnie Morrison going a lap down right there in the 69. So these guys, especially the guys right up here, Troy Tarbuck, Chris Carroll, right in front of this pack, they are just begging for a caution right now. But right now, everybody looks to be minding their P's and Q's. But I know with green flag pit stops, anything and everything can happen, especially in these cars.
Well, we know it's definitely really hard to get these cars slowed down, especially when you're going 210 miles an hour coming out of turn 4. But yeah, definitely hard to get these cars slowed down on the pit roads, but everybody's single filed out. It looks like they might be a little cordial here. We're gonna have to see what happens. How many laps can they do on a tank of fuel? Do we know?
Between 17 and 21, but that first caution kind of threw a little bit of a monkey wrench into that, right? I'm thinking with that caution, probably about 21 to 23. I wouldn't think they could go much further, but these guys, they do some miraculous stuff out here in the draft, right? But it does. It looks like everybody's gotten single file here, trying to coordinate when they're going to go down pit road. You want to go with a pack, right? Because you're fastest in a pack when you're drafting here. But that pack gets too big. Each car you add, that's more of a risk, right? Because, like we mentioned, these cars, they do not slow down. I mean, the brakes on these cars are 1987 technology, so they're not new school equipment they're working with. So you got to be careful getting in on pit road, and you got to hope everybody around you is careful as well.
As we are 22 laps in here tonight, still single file. I mean, it's been a pretty good race. I don't even know. We've had already a countless number of lead changes. As I don't personally like being out front in this situation, being the guy that makes the pit strategy call.
Absolutely
I don't know.
not. Right, yeah.
I like to be the follower, not the leader.
Right. If I can be P2 here, I'm happy. But even if I'm P2 and there's 7 people coming, I don't even know if I want to be P2. But they are going a pretty long distance. I went fan cam right there thinking they were for sure going to come right then. They did not. I'm also noticing, look at the gap between them. I think we got green flag pit stops happening this time, boys.
It looks like they're trying to get themselves situated. Maybe a little in-race communication going on here between these guys, letting each other know when they're going to pit. Because you guys both know from other super speedway experiences, getting on and off pit road here is such a chore. Because not only do you have to worry about getting slowed down, you have to worry about fanning out 3, 4, 5, 6 wide and trying to avoid other guys and make it to your pit stall.
Larry Bell, Mark Miller coming down pit road. Mark Miller is hauling the mail right there, though. Going through the grass, I would have to venture guess he did not get that Ford slowed down, but we'll have to wait on race control to figure that out. Larry Bell dipped down pit road, so you got 2 takers right there. So now it's on our top 8 out here. They have not went down pit road. And then we have Tarbuck and Carroll, who they pitted on lap 2, but that didn't really add a whole lot of laps to their fuel counter. So they're going to be expected in pretty quick. I would have to venture pit road is getting ready to be very, very busy. As if I was a betting man, I was going to bet they were coming that time by. We'll see right here as they're coming out turn number 4. Looks like Freitas is going to bring the pack down. Your top 6, top 7, Zimmy's committing as well. As a very, very busy pit road, you see guys fanning out, locking up. Kel Butler, 64, goes around. That's going to hurt everybody else around him, too. That's really going to hurt the 64. He's got to get that car spun around. And did he get that car slowed down enough?
And everybody was locking up the front brakes right there. I saw the number 1, the 32 might have locked up just a little bit there. As we said, how difficult it is to get these cars slowed down for pit road. As you see the 32, he misses pit box just a little bit there.
So
like you said, Tanner, there's no brakes.
No brakes.
87 technology.
No brakes. Let's see how Chris Carroll and Tarbuck do right here. Looks like they went in a little bit softer. I mean, they know, right? They've done these races. And if you try to go in there just hauling the mail like we saw Mark Miller or Kel Butler in the 64 do, I mean, if it works, you're a hero. But you can see what happened. And this part right here, I hate this part. Because you see right there, Stephen T. Johnson kind of pressuring Zimmy off pit road. And you can get loose down there super quick before you even know it. Got to be careful right here. But it looks like these top 3 got off pit road really good. As they got a huge gap behind them. And something happened to Garrett right there on the low side. Let the 1 and the 28 on by.
It's actually interesting to see this 1 and this 28 work together. You got a Ford and a Chevy working together. Not sure how I feel about that, but you know, hey, it worked for them, and now they're out in the lead.
But with this type of lead they have, are they going to be setting ducks, or can they tandem like you're seeing the 1 car, Stephen T. Johnson? And when I say tandem, folks, he is getting right up to the back bumper of the 28. Got to be careful. You can spin a 28 if you're not careful with it. Uh-oh, it's telling me Chris Carroll may win around. No way. But you got to be careful, as I don't see any damage there, because when you are shoving like that, these Chevys and these Fords, they don't line up particularly well. So yes, you're faster, but it's risk versus reward right here. But it looks like they are actually faster than the guys behind them. The guys behind them, Thomas Freitas, Garrett Walls, I don't think they're very organized yet. They are not. And then I see a gap behind them. Let's see where Jeffrey Clifton is. Jeffrey Clifton way back in P5. So this...
Oh, a little wiggle right there out of Jeff Clifton going into turn number 3.
As we do have a pack back here in P6 though, so that I think over time they should be able to catch our leaders. Says, oh, Paul Heyman is blinking out.
Yeah, you say they're going to catch them, but they're going to have to get more formed up than this. You see them, they're all broken up. You see a couple of guys breaking off down pit road once again. And I mean, you know, you said it, they can only go about 21, 22 laps here on fuel. So they're going to have to make something happen, get formed up, get single file, and start running down them race leaders, or they're not going to have a chance by the time the next green flag pit stops come out.
Exactly right. And when the field gets spread out like this, your chances and opportunities for a caution, they start getting slimmer and slimmer each lap it goes by, right? Because everybody's getting more spread out. But so we see Garrett Wiles and Thomas Freitas, they're linked up pretty well. As I say that, Tom's going to the outside. Makes me a liar up here, right? But there we go. There. Oh, Garrett Wiles maybe going around.
Maybe. Oh,
He's going to be able to save it.
Completely sideways to the trial. Was able to gather that back up. That's going to hurt them though. They're going to lose a draft from each other. So now they're just single cars. That's not ideal for the two of them. They kind of got a 3-car draft up here. They got Mark Miller with them.
Race leader picked up Mark Miller off pit road right there, so that's going to help. Now we're going to see if that old Chevy has the horsepower to just get close enough to get a little bit of the draft. Let's see how close they actually are out the cockpit. And I think you're going to see those guys get smaller and smaller at his windshield. I don't know if he's close enough, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he might have just a little sniff of the draft. I'm going to be really surprised if he can catch up to him. I've been proven wrong before, but if he can't catch these guys, I think his best bet would be kind of just to lift a little bit, maybe linked up with that second pack you were talking about.
Absolutely, he is catching them though. He was almost 6/10 faster last lap, so he is definitely catching them. And look at those cars out his windshield getting bigger. I never thought that was going to happen. I thought he would just kind of just watch them kind of drive out of his life. But so that's going to be a good sign for Tom. He is trying to run down our race leaders right now. It's all Brian Zimmerman in a 28 out front. Stephen T. Johnson right there in P2. P3, Thomas Freitas. You got a lap car, Mark Miller, old chummy, sitting in the third place catbird seat right now trying to help our leaders out.
That blows my mind, Tanner, that he was able to catch those guys. I mean, he must have just been right on the cusp of the draft, because we know in them newer cars like the next gens, the Xfinities, if you were that far back, you're gone. You're done.
Basically, anything over a second back, you'll have the benefits of the draft, but you cannot drive them down. When I looked at our timing and scoring here, 2.5 seconds back. So that goes in the notebook, right? We're racers, so if we ever race these 87s, that's why I like broadcasting, because you can see a lot up here. You miss some, but you can see a lot, and that, like I said, that absolutely blows my mind. If I was a betting man, I would have bet that he was never going to catch them. But so these four right here, you got Chris Paul Heyman, Ronnie Morrison in the 69, actually a lap car, washing up high for these guys. He might have a little bit of damage. We did see him get into the wall earlier. So it may be trying to form up a line right here, going to get the damaged car out of the lead pack here, or the leader spot. But they got to get more organized than that. If there's any type of real estate between them, they're not going to their full potential.
Yeah, they really got to get nose to tail if they want to make anything happen. They just got too much space in between them. As we're looking at the who's this, the 64 here.
64. Trying to see if maybe Carroll and then we're catching him. Trying to see where Carroll and Tarbuck are at on the track. So Chris Carroll and Tarbuck were together a while ago. We saw them, right, at 24, 97. But you can see the 97 just pulling away from Tarbuck here. This car is strange, man. It's like everything we know from other races, just throw it out the window.
Well, they handle a lot different, right?
And then you go backwards in what you know.
Right.
Yeah, they handle completely different than, I mean, these newer cars that we're used to. There's so much dirty air and all that other factors. I mean, in these, it's pretty much you got to hold on to it and drive it. So
yeah, you really do. I'm used to the short track stuff like we saw last night in the tour mods. Those things got tires double the size of these ones, way more technology, and way more overall grip. So it's completely different when you step from those to these. Some of these guys out here did it actually. Going from a tour mod on that tiny little track to a big handful of a car on a 2.5 mile track is a huge difference, and these guys have actually adapted really well to that.
Here, look at the gap that the one car has created. Now, this bears resemblance to Daytona this year. the season opener in this race, Stephen T. Johnson was the only guy that could break away from the pack. He took a 2-tire strategy and drove away from a pack with 2 tires. Are we seeing that right now? The beginnings of that. And now when I went cockpit cam a while ago, I want y'all to see something right here. Look out in front right there. That's championship contender Chris Carroll in that 3-car pack up there. I promise you, Stephen T. Johnson, he's a shark in the water. He smells blood right now. He wants to put that 97 car a lap down. I mean, that is that's huge
he wants
points.
to put Carroll a lap down, but Carroll doesn't want to go a lap down right
that's,
now. So
that's where you might get the caution there, right? Because I would have to venture a guess. Elbows go out at that point, right? That car you have suddenly turns into two lanes wide.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially if you're running for a championship. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, he's not a lap down yet. Chris is still on the lead lap. So, yeah, definitely put the elbows out and fight for it. I don't know why you wouldn't.
If there's ever time to do it, you better do it right here, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, the way it looks right now, a caution looks unlikely, but crazier stuff happens. You blow right fronts in these cars like crazy. That's all it's going to take. We see it in real life almost every Sunday. Somebody blows a right side tire right up into the outside fence, and then a caution, right? So, I mean, Carroll Tarbuck, they have to almost race this like they want to lead this race, right? They got to, in their mind, they can't be racing for a lap down. They just got to be racing as if they want to win this thing. It's the last lap. They got to stay in front of this race leader.
I mean, Tarbuck.
Oh, what a save there.
As I say that.
Yeah. Welcome to the broadcast room, right? As we say, they're doing a great job.
Curse. That's like broadcaster's curse. Why don't we make our picks now? We saw the broadcaster's curse ended last night, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I want to make some picks, see if we can continue that trend here.
We got to see what happens next week.
Oh, hey, no, sir, I'm starting last. I don't even want to hear you pick me again. You stay away.
I can't pick the same guy twice.
Sure you can. There's no rule against it. Anyways, I'll let you guys go first. I'll be the last guy tonight. Dead silence. Nice. Nice.
We had to mess with you a little bit. I mean, come on. No, I was saying that it looked like before the 1 car there, he got into the wall. Remember, Tanner was talking about the number 1 car taking 2 tires, and I strongly believe that does help you here, because I know from the last race we did here that it got really, really tight, right? But when you take those 2 right side tires, it's going to loosen that car up a lot, and I think that's why we see him pulling away like we are. He's just able to roll into the throttle a little bit more. Surprisingly, with these cars, well, not really surprisingly, but with these cars here at Talladega, you're going so fast, they're almost running it like it's a mile and a half.
Absolutely. I mean, yes, it's a super speedway. Yes, the draft's huge, but just the straightaways are like super speedways. As soon as you dive off into these corners, you're off throttle. You're really having to drive that car. You see right here, the 1 car is right to the back of Tarbuck right now. Let's see if we can jump on board as he dives off into 3 and 4. It's going to look minute because you can't really feel it right here, but you can hear him really working that throttle, playing with that throttle, trying to get that car to turn. And you saw naturally, it just wanted to climb the hill right then.
Well, that's the other thing I want to point out too, Tanner, is that we had, in the Xfinity cars and the next-gen cars, they're pinned to that yellow line the whole way around. If you watch these guys, they're really running it, like I said, like it's a normal 1.5 mile track. I mean, they're arcing these corners, entering high, going down to the yellow line, and letting it float all the way up to the outside wall, going down the back straightaway.
Chris Carroll right here. How do you race this? I mean, that
you
guy
gotta block it, right? You gotta block it, yeah.
The guy, so the 36 or 38, excuse me, I'm sorry, Mom. 38, Tyler Clemens, he is already a lap down, so if Stephen T. Johnson gets by both of these guys, that will put Chris the first car a lap down, right? But you still don't want to be that guy either. You want to be on the lead lap the hard way. You don't want to be the wave around guy or nothing like that. So we're about to find out right here is Stephen T. Johnson has got right here to the back bumper championship contenders. One's on lap 39, the other one's on lap 38. We're going to find out what happens right here. Can the 1 car get around the 97? Is he going to try to get around the 97? These guys are kind of buddies too, but if I'm Stephen T. Johnson, I'm smelling blood in the water right now. I can't lie. I love all y'all. If that's Jason Raymond or Sam right there, I'm trying to put y'all lap down because we're racing for more than just friendship out here.
Well, it's not only that, Tanner. I mean, if you look at how many laps we've ran, these guys, they're going to be making green flag pit stops here pretty soon once again.
Bingo.
So how are you trying to put Carroll down a lap before you go into the pits, or do you think you can get him now after pit stop cycle through? That's the question.
And if you just try to ride behind him, you think Tom and Zimmerman's going to ride behind you? I mean, that's
no chance. Absolutely no chance.
I think right now you're going to see a lot more give and take, but if there was, let's say, 20, 15 laps to go, I think we're going to see something different, because you see them all single filing out, and you see Chris Carroll, he's diving out of line. He knows that if he goes a lap down, he's in trouble. Looks like he's going to slot back up in front of the one car there.
I think he was hoping somebody went with him.
There you go, Tanner. You just said it. What does Tom and them do?
Right.
Tom goes down to the bottom side of the racetrack trying to take the race lead away.
I mean, that just goes to show right there. Stephen T might be a good guy and said, I won't put your lap down, but it's Freitas in the W machine. Will he be that nice? I mean, I got to think you want to put that, your biggest competitor, which, I mean, Carroll, he's won him some races here. Now, Tom, looking to the inside. I think when we saw the 97 dip down low while ago, I think he was hoping somebody went with him. Nobody did. He was a man on an island. So right now, looks like the 38 might come down. Tyler Clemens, he might block the run of the leader. He does not. He stays high. So as it stands right this second, Chris Carroll is fighting for his lap. And I think the advantage has to go to the low side here. As I don't know. I say that.
Way up the track,
I say that, but Carroll drove it in 4.5 car lengths deeper right there.
I mean, he is doing everything he can to stay on the lead lap, right? I mean, you saw the one car, he jumped behind him, tried to maybe work with Chris, help him out. Like you said, they're friends, so maybe a little teamwork going on there. But Tom said, no way, I want him to go a lap down. That's my competition right now to win this thing. So a bunch of different things being played out. These guys are definitely running 2x2, or at least trying to. No single file here, and we only got, under 30 laps to go.
Under 30 to go, and they last pit. Majority of the field pitted on lap 24. A few went in at 23. Chris Carroll went in 24 as well. So that tells them they can go to lap 48, right? And that was with a caution in between that. This run right here, Carroll a little loose on the high side right there, but did slot in front of the 38. So that's going to give him a little bit of a comfort zone right there. He has a car in between him and the race leader, Tom Freitas, right now. But that buffer looks like it may be non and void right now. This is allowed Ryan Zimmerman, and is that Garrett? That is not Garrett. That's Tarbuck.
Tarbuck.
Tarbuck, who is a lap down right now. So Tarbuck wants to see Carroll stay in front of these guys as well, because he's a lucky dog candidate right now. He's the first guy a lap down.
So I'd expect to see him pushing, as you see him scrape the wall a little bit. He has to be pushing really hard, right? Because it's Talladega. It's a lot easier to get your lap back the hard way here than it is anywhere else. And here we see Tom. He's going to the bottom side of the racetrack again, trying to put Chris Carroll a lap down. Chris is going to fight back. You see the one car mainly staying behind Chris. So,
that's
I mean,
weird
Tom's doing everything he can. I mean, he's doing everything he can.
So Tom and Steven are teammates.
Yeah, that is kind of weird to me. I don't know why Steven wouldn't want to put him a lap down. He's fighting for a championship right now.
And Steven is staying with Carroll right here. That's interesting to see that. And Carroll has a teammate in Zimmerman, and Zimmerman's going wherever he's faster at,
and
right?
And Tarbuck, too.
And Tarbuck, yeah. So Carroll does have teammates up here with him in this pack. But it looks like they are electing to go wherever they're faster. As Clemens may have went around.
The
Clemens,
more I'm watching
he is around.
The more I'm watching it, though, Tanner, it looks like the one's just still kind of riding his line. If you watch, when he's in the corner, he's behind Freitas, and then when he goes out of the corner, he slots up back behind Carroll. So he hasn't really changed what he's doing. Maybe trying to save those right side tires a little bit for later on in the race.
True. That is true. As Carroll is now a lap down, so championship contender sitting second right now. But truly, you look at the live scoring, he's sitting P9.
That's, I mean, not ideal technically for, well, I mean, not technically. It's definitely not ideal for Chris Carroll. 26 laps to go. It looks like we have a good chance to agree from here on out. Big wiggle from both those two right there, as they were both able to keep it off the wall, keep it off of each other. No harm, no foul there.
There's Garrett Walls,
happening.
Larry Bell. They broke the ice last time, boys. They were the first two that went down pit road earlier. So that tells me these boys are knocking on the door. Green flag pit stops. Carroll is usually really good when it comes to getting on, getting off pit road. usually faster than everybody. Him and Stephen T. Johnson, actually. So it's going to be a battle right here, getting on and getting off pit road in a timely manner. I noticed Carroll has some rear end damage. I did not think he got the wall too hard earlier, but apparently he did.
Yeah, that was from the first wreck where he backed into the fence. I don't think he hit it pretty hard, but I mean, it doesn't seem to be affecting him at all. He's sticking right there with the leader of Tom Friedis. I hear some more pit stops being called out.
Well, now we see it. Look, I believe guy said that's Tarbuck right there. He's trying to get up there. He got around the one car. Now trying to get up to Carroll, trying to get into that lucky dog position.
Uh-oh. I think we have somebody else around, man. So we got people wrecking, as it won't go back to our leader. Says, top. Just Tom went down. Tom, Chris Carroll. Okay, there's Stephen T. Johnson.
Look at Carroll, though.
But Carroll, I'm telling you, he knows. He knows what rides on this pit stop right here. He has to come out in front of 32, but even still, he needs a caution. Just riding out in front of them, that does him no good.
Well, even if he could have went longer than the leaders there, I think that was smart, right? Because now he knows who the leader is and where they're going to be on the racetrack and where he's got to be to stay in that lucky dog position.
Exactly right. As Zimmerman and Tarbuck, they elected to stay out, go an extra lap around this 2.65 mile of a track, a huge track, huge. I would have to guess once again that their fuel has to be pretty close. It's telling me Jacob Lamb may have went around.
Down here now. Troy Tarbuck, Brian Zimmerman down on pit road. Let's see how they get on. Zimmerman coming in a little bit hot, locks up the front tires, but seems to be able to get it slowed down a little bit.
How these others came off. Where is Chris Carroll at? Cause look at the gap Chris Carroll has to the one behind him.
He's just different on pit road. I don't know.
That's not great though. Yes, it's good. He has wiggle room right now, but he has nobody out front, and the people behind are going to be locked up. Well, not really. I thought Stephen T. and Tom. Oh, Tom! Tom spun off pit road. No way.
He did.
I told y'all getting off pit road here is so dangerous because you try to go so fast. And you just can't do it. Just loses the car right there.
Ooh.
Man, oh man. What a tough break.
Hit it pretty good, but I don't think it was that bad.
No, it shouldn't hurt the car. It just hurts its chances, though, if this thing goes green.
I'd be really surprised if this thing went green in the end.
I would be, too. Especially when we have admin buttons up here.
Well, I'm thinking race control might see a little piece of debris from that wreck coming out of turn 2.
I don't know. I mean, once they come back around, let me see here. I'll get the eyes in the sky. Let me make sure here.
23 laps to go here at Dega. If the caution was to fly right now, it would be a doozy. It'd be awesome. As now, look, the one car right up behind a 64, shoving him off turn 4.
Huge shove.
Well, that was interesting right there, too.
Yes.
Right? 'Cause isn't the 64 a lap down right now? Or?
Absolutely. But the 64 is sitting, only 1 lap down. But, wait, though. He would be 2 laps down if Johnson was to pass him right here.
Okay.
But Carroll loves seeing that. I mean, that created, once again, favorite word tonight, wiggle room, got in the comfort zone. And I see Mr. Restrictor Plate back here. He's coming, boys. He's got on and off pit road already. 22 laps to go here.
I don't know, Tanner. The more I'm thinking about that move right there by the one car, I think he did that on purpose to get another car in that pack to go faster.
It looked deliberate.
I mean, it's a smart move, right? Like, I mean, 3 are going to be faster than 1, but we saw that huge run that Tom got there catching the field. I don't know. This is interesting.
I think Zimmy, I mean, from what we saw earlier, eye test, he's in the draft, right?
Oh yeah, he's gonna catch them.
It's just a matter of when at this point. 21 laps to go here. Your top 2, Steven Johnson and Brian Zimmerman, they are battling for the points. They are second and third in the point standings. And then you got 97 of Chris Carroll right there. He is the points leader coming into the night. And I think Tom Friedis may have went around again, as he did indeed, and he is missing a bumper.
He is missing there's got to be some debris on the track. I'm hearing there's debris on the track.
Yeah.
So Tanner, did he take tires on that last pit stop?
Oh, yellow is out.
Got a yellow flag.
Yellow is out. as
So
I am.
what I was thinking is, I'm sorry, Tanner, but what I was thinking with the 32 is maybe he did take those 2 right side tires and it loosened the car up
Right.
too much. He just wasn't used to it.
Right, because I mean he spun getting off pit road, right? They're not up to
Yep.
temperature. And 2 tires on iRacing, it's a little quirky, right? It's looser than it is normal. I can tell you
But-
the 2 that did not want to see that caution right there, Brian Zimmerman and Stephen T. Johnson. But the 2 that did, Tom Freitas and Chris Carroll.
I mean, Freitas should have a faster pair, I would imagine.
I would think so. Matter of fact, there's only one way to find out.
Bring him on up.
Mr. Freitas, you are live in the True Sim Productions booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy.
So you saw a little wiggle right there off pit road. You had Johnson teammate right there behind you. Was that a tale of 2 tires, or was that just trying to push it a little bit too hot?
Combination of both. I, took right side so far the whole race, and it was definitely a handful there trying to get off pit road. It's a little too anxious there on the old throttle pedal.
Well, here we heard from race control there may have been debris on the track, so that got you a caution. You did lose a front bumper there. Car is about 5 inches shorter than normal. Well, they may get a little shorter as they're coming in hot right all behind you. So Tom, with that caution, that basically saves your race. How you like your chances? You've been up front for most of the night.
Yeah, I mean, car feels really good. Track feels good. It's nice and slick out there, which I know myself and most of the other drivers are really enjoying with 120-degree track temp. So, yeah, I'm excited. Got a fast hot rod, and we're going to get our money's worth out of it tonight.
Well, good luck to you, buddy. $30 on the line. Brought to you from True Sim Productions. Good luck to you. Maybe we're talking at the end of this deal.
10-4. Thanks, brother.
Absolutely, boss. So that right there really shakes up the entire run. Or you're just seeing right sides get jacked up on everybody. Did Paul?
Zimmy took 4.
Zimmy took 4. He never takes 4.
The left side jacked up.
I
on
saw that.
28.
I don't know. I'm kind of wondering if he's sick. He doesn't take 4 tires.
I wonder
if he's feeling all right.
4.
I don't think he's. I don't think either of them are feeling all right.
Or did they take 4? Did they maybe just take left sides to match up with those right sides?
I know Zimmy, the right side of the car jacked up. I watched it jack up. 'Cause I thought he was. My next statement was he was taking 2 tires, right? But then you said he took 4, and that kind of threw me for a loop. I was expecting.
I don't know.
I'm gonna guess Paul Hamas. He only had an 8-second stop, almost 9 seconds. So I'd have to venture a guess that's a 2-tire stop, maybe a no-tire stop. Maybe
could have been a no-tire stop.
Yeah,
Sunoco,
sounds like a nose tire.
Sunoco racing fuel only, just enough fuel to make it to the end of this deal. They are in the window now, boys.
Yeah, I don't think they'll have to pit again. I think that's gonna be it for the pit stops, unless they get damage, obviously. But
Oh, it just blows my mind that these guys would take 4 tires with such short distance to go. I mean, that car is so tight with them fresh 4 tires. So I don't know. I mean, I've eaten my words before. We could see something different happen. I don't know, but that's an interesting strategy call.
Absolutely, and with Choose Cone coming right here as well. I don't know if it's actually coming this lap or not. Maybe another lap around. Not sure if they're.
It is this time. I hear it being called out.
Choose Cone this time by.
Race Control has informed that Choose Cone is in effect, so that's something to watch for. What do you do here? I mean, the one Choose Cone we've had so far, we saw the inside lane had probably 7 more cars in the outside lane. I feel like you have to take the gamble now. You have to.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
I think that outside line is going to be the line that's going to prevail. I mean, it normally always does at these plate tracks. You just get such momentum coming off the corner, and especially in these 87 cars where your line isn't really, all the way around the bottom or all the way around the top. So I don't know. I'd like to see these guys take the high side here.
As we got guys driving in the middle. This is a weird camera angle. The cars are driving through our camera.
That's called Choose Cone, by the way, boys.
I don't really know what's happening, but we're gonna make it work. Pace lights the lights are off on the gender neutral pace car, as Sandra likes to say. Stealing your saying. Sorry about that. Had to do it.
So if you're Chris Carroll, your race was basically all but over a while ago. Now you just gotta let it hang and basically go for broke here, right?
Right. Well, do you though, or do you play? I mean, you got 18 laps to go. Going to be 17 when you take the green. I mean, that's still a long way here.
All right. Well, let me ask you: is that the last caution? I mean, I would like to think it's not. Right?
I don't think so. I mean,
There's
they've
not a
been
whole
good
lot of
about it.
cars, but I just don't think that's the last caution.
I think they're going to go green the rest of the way. I think they're going to manage it.
I don't think so. I know they've been super good with it so far, but I mean, it's coming down to go time. You got to start making the more aggressive moves, trying to get every position you can here.
I
So
think the time to not lift is now, boys. I don't think anybody's. Well, maybe about 10 laps to go onwards. I think your right foot's glued to the throttle. Throttle's glued to the bottom. All right, we're gonna find out though. They surprised me week in and week out. We know to predict the unpredictable here at Crooked Line Racing, right? North Wilkesboro Street Stocks 2 Saturdays ago. Person who
four, but
or
yeah.
3. It was actually 3.
A little while ago.
It was 3 Saturdays ago. The person who exited turn 4 in 8th place on the last lap. That was the driver that won that event. Don't believe me? Go back and watch it. North Wilkesboro.
We could even have something like we had last Saturday night, where it was side by side for the finish, and almost third place got it. So.
Right. So don't let the car count fool you out here, because there's a lot of hungry drivers also out here. So here we go. Inside lane has more cars lined up. Field's gonna be in the hands of Paul Hamus, the 3 car, the red number 3 out front, as he gets a good launch. But you don't want to be too far out in front, as that's a weird start for the inside lane.
It almost looked like he went, but then he kind of backed off a little bit and then went again.
And then we're going to see if Racing Show says anything about lane changing right there. I saw a lot of people changing lanes. Luckily for us, we're just in the booth tonight. We have no part of that. We'll let them boys sort it out, as the 1 car has a massive run. A massive run, but kind of just lays back right there. I thought the 1 car may jump to the outside, as he is now.
All 3 of them, Larry Bell, Brian Zimmerman, and Steven Johnson, jump to the outside of Paul Hamus. And look at this. Larry Bell's going to drop down to the inside. And look at the run Tom has right now.
I think you're seeing tires versus no tires right here, boys.
It's got to be.
As they're going to be 3 wide for the 3rd place position. As now, look at the run the 1 car's getting. Once Chris Carroll got behind him, it was like he gained 20 miles per hour right then. That's going to leave Zimmerman, the man in the middle. Look at the run the 1 car. Stephen T. Johnson, new race leader. As these laps are starting to really wind down, Chris Carroll backs out of it right there. Going to try to re-rack it, but then look at that. 28 car now out front. I'm telling you, I forget 10 laps to go, 16 laps to go. It's go time.
Zemi just made a great move, and I mean, even the 1 car, he made a great move there. I told you that top line would work, but now it's not working as much. You see Freitas, he got a little loose right there, drifting up the racetrack. But yeah, Zemi made a great move, now controlling this thing.
Now you got to watch out the windshield, but you also got to watch out that mirror. You got to try to... It's a guessing game more than anything. It's really hard to tell when you're in this cockpit on which lane's really moving, right? Yes, you can tell what cars are getting bigger, but you build runs out here so often that you may have a huge run and then it dies off, right? You kind of got to predict which lane's going to move.
You got to be selective, too, with the run you take.
I guarantee that Zimmy, he's looking in his mirror more than he's looking out the front windshield right now.
Absolutely.
I got to say, this is just deja vu. Flashbacks to the last time we were at Talladega. Remember, Zimmerman won that race completely sideways in front of the field.
He did. I forgot about that. That was a crazy finish.
Just complete deja vu. I'm having flashbacks right now.
As outside lane's trying to form again, you got the Tide right out there trying to get linked up. Maybe just trying to go out there for himself. Look, he may look to the outside. Chris Carroll
looking to the outside.
Carroll's trying to make something shake right here. It's still all Mr. Brian Zimmerman out front. I know he has some family members watching. I know they love seeing that. They're probably standing up on the couches right now, getting wild with it down there in Alabama. And it's still all Mr. Zimmy, Mr. Restrictor Plate. He didn't get that name by himself, right? That name was given to him. He's got 3 race wins this season, 2 of them coming from these big tracks.
Along with that, you know, the reason he's Mr. Restrictor Plate, you ask Zimmerman where he wants to go in these 87 cars, 99.9% of the time it will be Talladega or any plate track.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I know he holds a sweet spot in Talladega. He's told me many times him and his dad have watched many races here. So he's seen a lot of laps turned at this very, very historic, famous track. I know he takes a lot of pride in winning here. So right now he is sitting out front. Will a teammate play spoiler to that? It's all pit leaders performance top 3 as we have 3 wide for P2. Tom Freitas, Larry Bell, Chris Carroll. Low man on totem pole gets shuffled out right there. That's how fast it happens right there. Chris Carroll went from hero to zero really fast. Just got chewed up and swallowed out.
Almost a little bit of contact there between Bell and Freitas. Says we're 3 wide, almost there for second place.
Almost more contact there is
almost 4 wide.
This is insane right now. These guys are not holding back at all. Like Tanner said, it is time to not lift at all. And looking at this now, Brian Zimmerman's got a pretty decent gap after all that.
You don't want that,
concerned.
though.
I'm just concerned they're going to get too big of a run on him, and he's just going to get shuffled. Drivers into the outside fence coming off turn number 2.
That's going to allow Freitas and company to get a huge run right here down the backstretch.
There it is.
I think the advantage is going to go to the 32 as they dive off in 3 and 4. Paul Hamas, he don't know which lane to go right now. He kind of got shoved to the middle lane.
He's going in the middle.
That's going
to...
Yeah, that hurt Tom right there. That hurt Tom a lot with Paul Hamas to his inside. He did not get to use the track like he wanted to.
Say, if I was Freitas right there, I probably feel like I might have gotten pushed up out there. I mean, we can see it. There was room there, but from that cockpit, it probably felt like he got put. Yeah,
right.
It
You have
like
no idea.
Up there.
You hear car low, and then you hear 3 wide. You're like, oh my goodness, right? And you just think you got to give that guy the middle room.
He did a great job, though. I mean, he got it off the wall. It doesn't look like it did too much damage to that car. He can still, he's still in this thing.
He's still right here in the hunt. I think if you're
locked together,
any driver in this front pack, you are in the preferred spot right now. I would honestly say I don't like where Zimmy's at right now being out front, if I'm being honest. If I'm Zimmy, I want to be P2, I think. As you see, one car may get a run right here. Got Carroll helping him out. And I'm surprised Carroll did not go with teammate. Do you have teammates 10 laps to go? I mean, do you?
Not in a championship race.
No.
Now, Carroll's all out for that championship right now. I know he's probably thinking as he passes the 28 going, man, I wish I could help you, but I got to go win this thing. So, I don't know. We're going to see what happens. Zimmy didn't lose a whole lot of time.
Freitas back in the wall.
In the outside wall.
Freitas and Paul Hamas both into the wall.
No foul, though. They are still rolling good. And along with the, do you go with a teammate? Do you help a teammate this late? We always say in every race that I've been involved in with teammates, we can help each other out all race long. Comes 10 to go, gloves come off, and you're fighting for yourself. And that's exactly what I think we just saw there. Is now Chris Carroll, remember, 10 laps ago, he was fighting to not go a lap down. Now look at him, he's fighting for the lead.
Right.
That's a never give up mentality right there.
Well, remember what Tanner just said about being in second place. If I'm Chris Carroll right now, I like where I'm at, right? Like, you have the opportunity to make the move, and it's the matter of when you're going to make that move. I don't know. I see him staying behind this one car until it's the last lap to make that winning move.
And I think if Carroll is to jump out, I think the 28 does go with him. Not for teammates, but because that's going to better the 28's chances too, right? He's going to have to take the run whenever Carroll takes the run. It's just a matter of when do you take that run, right? You can ask every driver, and everybody's going to tell you something different, right?
Well, the other thing, too, Tanner, I mean, you still got 8 laps to go here. I mean, Carroll could just be, like, testing it, you know? Like, how much of a run do I get here?
Trial and error.
Exactly. So that's why I totally agree with you about being in second and not being in the lead, because when you're in the lead, you can't do that. You're not going to know when it's going to come. But if you're in second, you're playing around. You're trying to see how much pull you can get on that guy, or what kind of run you can make. As you can see, he gets right up on the back bumper going down the backstretch.
Does every time almost. And I'm also noticing Zimmy is not able to do that. So it tells me maybe the third person in line cannot break the bubble like we're seeing with Chris Carroll do right now. Chris Carroll, he falls back a little bit, but then he's right back up there to the back bumper of Hot Wheels. He's going to have a nightmare about Hot Wheels tonight, 'cause that's all he's seeing right now out of his windshield, Hot Wheels.
Zimmy's got a good run, though, right here. He caught up to the back of them really, really quick.
I noticed Tom Freitas looking to the inside. He was leading up here just recently. Got to the wall twice, but you see the 32, no scrapes on the side of it much. Kel Butler gets a little loose. Thought Kel was getting ready to go for a wild ride, but he hangs on to that Chevy. Those Chevys looking nice and stout out front right now.
But he's just close enough that he can pull the draft of these 3 cars, and it could be a 4-way battle for the lead here in a lap or two. I mean, he is close enough.
I think if Tom catches these guys, I think he pulls the pack with him, right?
Mark
Miller.
Down to the outside fence, down to the inside. I think he might have made contact to that inside wall.
It won't let me click on his name. It just
Not
lags.
sure.
No caution,
He
though.
shot down to the inside of the track.
That's the good thing about Talladega. The surface is so big. You get off the surface like that, iRacing will not throw a caution. As it looks like everybody's trying to develop a run right now. There's a lot of room between all these drivers. As somebody else has gotten to the wall. I think that was Paul Heyman's gotten to the wall right there. The only guys that have no really room between them is our top two, Stephen T. Johnson, Chris Carroll.
I don't know. Again, third place Zimmy. Maybe he's testing it. I mean, he is a little far back, but we saw him get that huge run there the last time by. It's going to be 5 laps to go this time by for the number 1 of Steven Johnson. We're going to see what happens here. Still a long way to go. 5 laps is a long way here at Dega.
Absolutely. And I know Zimmy, right? I know he's also testing what he can do back there right now. I think he wants Tom to get a little bit closer because that's going to just help the momentum out for the 28, right? The more cars you got, the faster you are. Just physics, right? I don't know why it is, but it just is. Why does a guy behind you make you faster? I don't know, right? But we've raced for a long time. We've watched racing for a long time. We know it's possible. We know it's there. So I think Zimmy wants to see that 32 car get a little bit closer to him. And I think the 32 car, he is in striking distance. We saw that already. So we're going to see if he can get the run or not. I just think Chris Carroll and Zimmy both are just waiting right now. They're just waiting for that right time. And like I mentioned a while ago, when's that right time? If I asked you, Sam, you're going to give a different answer than Jason or myself would give, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You're Chris Carroll. When do you go here?
But that's the thing, though, Tanner. I mean, you could go at any time, and you could either win or lose still.
Right.
I mean, it's such a crapshoot that it's just unbelievable. You might think, oh, I got the run of a lifetime here on the last lap going on the back straightaway, take it, and then the third place guy blows past you in the tri-oval and takes the win. So we literally have zero idea what could happen here.
Zimmerman washed up high.
Outside wall. Yeah.
So
look, now Friedis in the picture.
I've always said I don't want to go coming out of turn 4 on the last lap because you get one shot, one opportunity like that, right? I want the last 2 laps. As we're 3 laps to go here, last 2 laps, I'm trying it then, right? Because I don't want to wait till the last second because that puts you on your heels, right? And that's when normally you wreck across the line and stuff like that happens, right? As we are 3 laps to go to decide a champion, decide a race winner, $30 on the line. As the 32 car, he's going to have a huge pull when they get to the tri-oval right here.
And unless Stephen T. Johnson and old Chris Carroll have been communicating, I guarantee Stephen's looking in his rearview mirror and probably hasn't looked out that front windshield in the last 4 or 5 laps.
He's just taking small glimpses. It looks like Chris Carroll may look to the inside of Stephen T. right here. Stephen T. and Tom Friedis in the 32, they are in the same Discord channel together. Chris Carroll and Brian Zimmerman are. So these the 1 and the 97, we saw them work good together earlier. It looks like no more teammates, no Moss. As race leader Chris Carroll out front, Stephen T. Johnson going to try to slot in right there behind him. But Tom Friedis is a man on the island right now, just needs a little bit of help at the back windshield of his car. As he's going to get clear of the number 1 car. As we are going to be white flag in the air this next time by the stripe. It don't matter what happens then. They will complete this deal tonight. 70 laps here at Dega. It's went by super fast. Thank you, fans, for tuning in all season as white flag is out in the air. And I love Dega because of where the start-finish line is. As Carroll's going to get turned. Caution's out.
Caution is out.
Caution's out. Carroll gets turned. Caution's out right before they cross the line. And I know Carroll, I know he's not happy about that.
Man. That is insane. Like, what?
Welcome to Crooked Line Racing, folks. Just a little slight nudge. Like Tom's trying to pull to his outside.
He misjudged that.
Just
Definitely.
misjudged it. Just a little bit misjudged. I think he didn't calculate in the run he had. And I think Carroll may have came up to try to slightly block it right here. And then just realized he couldn't, right? You couldn't block that. He's already fully committed. Carroll really didn't budge a whole lot.
Yeah, Carroll didn't move. I don't know.
Carroll got saved right here.
Make that move.
Carroll got saved with that yellow flag coming out as quick as it did.
I mean, that is just for all the times that it didn't throw a caution tonight.
I
for
know.
it to throw it then, I mean, come on.
He got lucky right there again too. Second time we've seen him sliding backwards. The rear end of that car actually lifted up off the ground a little bit and slammed straight back down. So he got lucky he didn't flip right there. That could have been really bad, as I believe they are slow rolling to wait on the pace car, who's taking a sweet time to come around the track.
10-4. But man, oh man, I'm not touching Carroll's interview after that. If you boys want to, have at it, but I want no part of that one.
I'm not sure. It's just not gonna be.
He's still in it.
Absolutely. Yeah, right, absolutely, for sure. But the chances just got a little bit slimmer for him, right? Because he was leading, and we know how we racers are. We're racehorse mentality. We want to be out front no matter what. And he feels like it was stolen from him right there. He hadn't saw the replay like we have, right? So in his head, you know how us racers are. We see stuff completely different out of our mirror and windshield. All right, you got some takers down pit road. Stephen T, Brian Zimmerman, Cale Butler, Chris Carroll, Larry Bell. Our 3 championship contenders down pit road. Tom Friedis and Dustin Lamb. They elected to stay out to 10-32.
I mean, if you got a set in the pits, you might as well, right?
But Tom was kind of in that weird spot. If he goes down pit road, does the field still go? You know, like, with it being a green-white checker, is the field going to follow you down pit road if you go down pit road?
Well, realistically, even if he wanted to pit right here, he still could. He comes around this time, he could drop down pit road, but
he loses all at track position. He goes from first to 8th.
It is Dega, though. It is Dega. So, I mean, we just saw him work all the way from the back after getting to the wall up to the almost leading this thing. So, I can't put it out of the realm of possibility here. I just can't.
My bed's made right now, brother. If I didn't go the first time, I gotta hope we get these Goodyear Eagles cooled off just enough. Just last me 2 laps, baby. 2 laps. Green white checker. How fitting is this? Talladega championship on the line, $30 on the line. I promise you, the money is cool and all, but they want the bragging rights. That's what they want. They want to win the season finale. And Tom Friedis is going to be in a great spot for it. Going to have teammate Dustin Lamb firing off right there. Well, I mean, it could be beside him or behind him. We got choose coming right here, boys.
Has the 32 won a race yet this season?
He has not.
He has not.
Has he won a race at all?
He won a front row race on Friday nights recently.
I'm talking crooked line.
No, he has not.
All right, so looking for a first-time winner here tonight, too.
Absolutely. Dustin Lamb, same boat. Cale Butler, same boat. So
I mean, I'm going to be honest here, Tanner.
There's a lot of
guys. Yeah,
they're
those
hungry.
guys looking for their first-time win. Screw that championship.
Right.
Go get that first win.
Right. You're exactly right. So the only ones that have actually tasted victory, the sweet taste of victory in Crooked Line Racing, is Chris Carroll, Steven Johnson, Brian Zimmerman. That is on the lead lap here. You got Garrett Wiles, Larry Bell, Cale Butler, Dustin Lamb, Tom Friedis. So they're outnumbered, winners versus non-winners. And I promise you, that first win, you're never more hungry to get that win than it is for your first one. Or if you used to win and you went winless for a long time, right? And you get hungry like that. But now, Chris Carroll, I want to focus on him really quick. And what I'm about to say, this ain't very controversial. Chris Carroll's used to winning about every league he goes in, right? And at least 1 or 2 races a season. And especially on these short track deals where we normally race Monday, Tuesday night, he wins quite often. He'll maybe win 3 or 4 races out of a 12-race season. Carroll's only got him 2 victories this season, so I know he's also wanting to get a win here tonight. Zimmerman, Steven Johnson, they both have 3 race wins apiece this season. If one of them wins, they can lay claim to being the winningest driver of the season. There's a lot of storylines to watch right here. On top of a freaking championship, guys. Season 1 champion, inaugural season. The ButtKicker.com. I want to thank the ButtKicker.com for being the presenting sponsor of this series. USAFirearms.com, Top Hat Comics. Man, oh man, this is only fitted. Go out with a bang on True Sin Productions. Before we get all that out of the way, Saturday night we'll be back out on track with the Street Stock Series, as I am trying to get the track pulled up right now. We will be going to Lanier this weekend, and then Sunday night, Premier Series, BPL, Blazing Pedals, iRacing League. Where are we heading at on Sunday, Sam?
You forgot a day, Tanner. You went straight to Saturday.
You did.
You forgot.
We are going.
We're ending a race tonight. We're ending a championship tonight, and we're starting something brand new tomorrow.
We are going dirt racing tomorrow. I totally forgot about that.
I gotta buy the track still. I'm over here slacking.
Pro late model. Wait, you don't own Eldora?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna.
That outweighs everything I was going to say. You don't own Eldora? Get it together. Pro dirt late model start tomorrow, but let's forget all that. Pace car's going to make that hard left-hand turn. They have 2 more attempts after this one if they cannot take the white flag. Field is in the hands of Mr. Frito-Lay Thomas Freitas. And at 32, Chevy Monte Carlo got championship contenders occupying row number 2. Chris Carroll sitting outside row number 3 as they are off. Tom Freitas gets a great launch. But to his benefit, it looked like everybody else did as well, so he is not going to be a sitting duck too far out front. And I noticed there, Tom went up high, try to get that arc in the entry to turn number 1. As now he is getting a little bit away from those guys. But look at the run. Look at that run. I forgot his name, Brian Zimmerman. There's so much action. I'm watching people in the back. Somebody got the wall. 3 wide for the race lead and the championship.
Going forward all right now as he is not. Oh man,
that was a clear yourself move. Oh, 10 car, Dustin Lamb going around. That's going to get the 1 car. 1 car saved that.
Oh,
what the
God.
The 1 car saved that and may have saved his season right there. I will focus on the wreck here in a second, but it actually didn't look as crazy as I thought it was. That was pretty crazy though. Still, that was some driving.
Except, okay, in these cars, that is insane. These cars are hard to save.
Yeah, no power steering in these cars, right? So you're really wheeling these things. Just a slight tap, and that's all she wrote. What a drive to survive right there, bro. Very, 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 very awesome save. Let's see what happened here, though. Looks like Zimmy just getting to the back of Dustin Lamb a little bit, huh? Did Dustin try to come down to clear? He's in the middle lane right there. I think he does. He kind of just misjudged it. But tough break for Zimmy because he did get some front-end damage right there. Will that hurt him? I doubt it. These cars are tanks, but you don't want to be in that position. So that's going to allow Steven Johnson, made that save. He's going to be the race leader, and we go back green flag racing, boys.
The best part about that save, I heard his radio talk from his team. He saves it, and then he just nonchalantly tells him where the pace car is. Just, just calm. He does it every day. Just easy for him.
See if we can talk to him. I know he's got to be a little excited about that one. As Mr. Steven T. Johnson, you were live in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Man, oh man, I'm going to ask you first how it's going, because that save right there, not only did it save your chance at a race win, but it could have possibly saved your season. Talk me through that, brother.
I saw cars on the inside pointing the wrong direction, and I was just stayed in the gas and kept my foot in and hoped I was going to make it around it. Then I got hit in the corner, and I think the wall actually helped me straighten it back up.
It did a little bit,
I'm not sure.
But I mean, just a little bit of a kiss on the right rear. You look like the Dirt Pro late models we're bringing out tomorrow, just kind of kissing that wall a little bit, right? But I mean, what a save! I mean, at one point you saw the inside lane out your windshield, right? That's never a good look at Dega.
That's one of those you just kind of put some wheel and put it into it and hope it sticks, and somehow it did. I don't know how that did.
Green white checker attempt number 2. What's the game plan here? Are we going like hell? You gotta just drive with that mirror right now.
Pretty much. I mean, that's all you can really do from this position. On points racing, double points night. Had a nice long green flag stretch in, but it doesn't matter because it's gonna be a 2-lap shootout. We'll see what happens here.
If you had the preference here, we were talking and debating about it earlier. Super Speedway, last lap. Do you like to be the leader, or do you like to be that guy sitting P2, P3?
I think either way you're gonna get wrecked.
Okay.
If you're in the front, I mean you're gonna get probably turned, or you'll get freight trained, and if you're in the back, then you'll probably end up making some not great decision and end up turning or getting turned. So I mean, it is what it is. You just gotta kind of like feel and just kind of see what happens, and whoever makes the checker flag first,
Right, that's the race winner. You know, you have my motto in life right there. That's not optimistic at all. That's just realistic, right? You were being very realistic with that answer because I feel like you're probably going to be spot on right there. Well, good luck, buddy. Championship on the line here. Stick around. I want you to spread the message to Zimmy and Carol that as soon as we close up shop or as soon as we get done here, checker flag, I'm going to hand the reins over to Sam and Jason. And I'm going to try to get the points up as quick as I can. We'll know the champion before we go dark tonight.
That's awesome. Looking forward to it.
All right, good luck, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Man, oh man, oh man.
That I don't even know what to think, man. That's
all right.
I'm still confused.
We talked about it earlier. Nobody picked. Jason, who you got?
All right. I am gonna go with
just for the race win. Don't do the championship.
Yeah, like for the race win, I'm gonna go with Tom Friedis. He's been pretty quick all night, and I feel like he's gonna be in a good position here.
Can't argue it. Samuel Baumgarten.
Brian Zimmerman.
Okay, we'll wait for Sam to get in the same room with his mic, and then we'll ask him again. You just let us know when you're in the same vicinity of your mic.
Hang on.
Yeah, you have to.
He's getting the donuts.
Don't mind Sam. He's in a different area code right now trying to talk to us. Well, he took Brian Zimmerman.
Different area code.
He took Zimmerman. I don't know how in the world he even heard us talking, but I'm going to take Brian Zimmerman. I heard the echo. That's a good pick. I like that pick.
Wireless headset, bro. Come on.
I'm going Christopher Carroll on my pick.
Christopher. You got fancy with that. You got
Christopher Carroll. I said that for Miss Rachel.
All right, well, we got a trifecta of broadcasters curse going on here. So what's going to happen in this green-white checkered?
That means Larry Bell's going to win this race. Everybody we just mentioned in the top four here. Or no, Steven, did anybody? No, wait. Nobody gave my boy Stephen T. Johnson love? Nobody gave Stephen T. love, huh?
Well, you know, he just sounded so enthusiastic in his interview. I just didn't want to ruin his bad night or his good night. You know what I mean?
That was I mean, you look at Sports Center top 10, and when it comes to iRacing League races, that was huge right there. That was legit. Not to sound over dramatic, that was maybe just maybe season saving with that save. I think with Chris Carroll, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, boys, but if Chris Carroll finishes up in this top 5, I don't know if they have championship hopes or not, right? But double points night, I've seen some weird stuff happen. We thought Dalton Kilroe was going to win the Tour Mods by many points, and he ended up winning by 1 point. So
I remember that.
Drop weeks are crazy. As pace car is off, take it from here, boys. Let's get it.
When does the one fire off is the real question.
I feel like he's going to go a little bit later than people would expect. Change it up a little bit as we still are awaiting it. He is going to make them wait.
I mean, realistically, might as well just wait till
right.
The green flag is out.
No benefit. No benefit here jumping.
Still.
To jump it here, there's no benefit, right? You don't want to be too far out.
I don't know. That outside lane's getting formed up a little bit better than that inside lane in number 1. He's way out in front. These guys are going to catch him.
Peer Lizard Performance.
Teammates on the outside right
Peer Lizard Performance, boys. They are back right now, but they're coming. They got Larry Bell trying to bring up the rear. Tom Friedis, he saw the run. Friedis saw the run. Jumped up in front of the 28. A great move. If they take the white flag, that is it. They will finish this thing. We'll see.
They're going to take the white here. I can feel this one. This is the one right here.
Y'all said they were going green flag. We got 2 cautions. I don't believe you anymore.
Look at Steven Johnson shoving, absolutely just shoving Tom Friedis.
This is it right here. They're going to take the white flag. Doesn't matter. Next flag will end it after this.
Brian Zimmerman got it. Lead.
I don't know if Brian Zimmerman wanted that block. I think Carroll kind of shoved him down there. As they're 3 wide for P3. Wow. Tom Friedis is trying to save that car. You got a 3-car battle for the race win here.
Oh, they're going to go around. They're going to start wrecking behind him.
Your top 3 championship contenders. 1, 2, and 3 as they're going down the backstretch. I ain't worried about that. Your top 3. Your top 3 championship contenders right here, boys. Brian Zimmerman, Chris Carroll, door to door as they coming out of turn number 4. Stephen T's just trying to find a hole. Got Cale Butler right there behind him. Hey, Stephen T. Zimmy's going to try to get him one. Mr. Restricted play to the line.
Get you some, Zimmy. What's up?
Got it.
Yeah. Zimmerman, race winner. Congratulations. What a freaking drive right there, boys. I want to thank y'all for calling the season with me, Jason Raymond, and I want to thank you, Sam, for jumping in. I'm going to hand the reins over to y'all, and I'm going to get these points situated. We're going to find out who is our series champion. But before we do that, you saw some mighty fine paint schemes out there. Let's throw it over to MF Race Designs, where you can get yourself a mighty fine paint scheme, and we'll be back momentarily.
As we are back from that short commercial break, as we see some teammates doing burnouts now. So we're going to get ready to talk to some of these drivers as they get unstrapped and climb out of their cars. Up first, we got the third place finisher here tonight, Chris Carroll, actually. Sorry, my mistake, as he was still burning it down. He's wait for him to get out of the car. All right. Chris Carroll, this is Jason and Sam up in the True Sim Productions booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy. I can hardly hear you because these tires are roasting off. What I got you, sir?
I see that. You're still burning it down out there. But take me through your race. You were fighting for your laps early on. You were involved in a wreck, and you finished P3. So that's never give up attitude there, but take me through your race.
Yeah, we salvaged one there. I'm not sure who hit the wall early. Somebody hit the wall, took me out super early in the race, and it was just I had to battle Tom pretty hard for my, to stay in the lead lap, and got out front there a little bit and was able to hang on to it, and not too happy with him running me over there for the lead. I have no idea what happened there, but I have to go back and look at the replay. But salvaged it, had to think big picture, and did the best we could there.
Yeah, I mean, a P3 finish is definitely never something to be disappointed with. We have the points being imported right now, so we will have an official word on who got the championship in a few moments. But until then, who do you got to thank on that number 97 machine for making it so fast every week?
It's weird being 97, isn't it, Raymond?
It is, dude. I got confused for a second.
I heard it in your voice. I got to thank always Zimmy, USAFirearms.com, and all the guys that work hard. Even though he wrecked me, Tom Freitas, they all work hard on this, and Tanner and all you guys that put it on. I got to thank the Pit Lizard boys, of course, Troy and Larry Bell, and Zimmy, and all of us out here doing our thing, and all the TSP boys out there. Without these guys, you wouldn't have a broadcast to go back and watch, and all you guys work hard to put it on, man. I got to thank my friends and family out there watching, my folks are watching, and all them. So I think I got them all. I forget them every time. What's the sponsor of this series? Do we have one, Raymond?
USA Firearms is a presenting sponsor.
There you go. We got him. We're good.
You can't forget that one. I mean, he's your primary sponsor. So
28 car.
You got that covered. We'll let you get back down there and celebrate with your team as we wait for the official word on the champion.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
There you have it. That was Chris Carroll, the driver that finished in the P3 spot. We got Steven Johnson coming up next. Brought it home in the second position after starting that last restart out front. We talked to him. He said, no matter where you are, you're probably going to get wrecked. And he didn't get wrecked. Managed to bring home P2 here tonight. Steven Johnson, this is Jason, the True Sim Productions. You got a copy?
Reverse psychology.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely what that was. That's
yeah, wink, wink, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was just, I was working and didn't really get the start that I wanted, and then just Tom's tires just were completely worn out, and the only strategy was trying to just make sure that I try to stay in front of the 97 for points, but I mean, it's like I tried to do what I could to get to the checker flag first. It just wasn't really an opportunity to develop right there.
I mean, you were still wheeling it up there after that crazy save. I mean, you still had a solid night all around up there the entire night, and P2 finish. That's never something to complain about. Like I say about every podium position, but who do you got to thank on that number one machine for such a solid race here tonight?
I appreciate the guys at Crooked Line for putting on this this league and getting the broadcast set up, and it's just been, these cars are so much fun to drive, and they're incredibly challenging. But just wheeling it and having no brakes and all the horsepower, no downforce. I mean, this is what NASCAR fans say they want. This is it. So appreciate y'all putting this on. This has been a lot of fun.
As I told Carol the same thing, we are waiting on an official word of who the series champion is. We are getting that all situated right now. But until we find out, I will let you get back down to your team, celebrate a little bit your podium finish here tonight.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
And then there was one as we get ready to catch up with Brian Zimmerman. I'm going to hand the mic over to Sam Baumgarten as he gets ready to talk to our feature winner here tonight.
Yeah, Jason, I'm catching up with him now. Brian Zimmerman's climbing out of that number 28 machine, managed to bring it home P1. Brian, talk me through it, man. How you feeling? You got to be excited.
Man, that was a lot of fun tonight. It's a lot of fun to get out there with a bunch of good racers. Everybody's racing clean. I know we had some issues there at the start, but everybody's a lot of courtesy out there racing, trying to push without pushing too hard, and thank my teammate there giving me a push there on that restart, got me past Steven on the inside and Tom. Tom had went down low coming out the back, so we had a huge run on that back stretch on that first lap. Chris was giving me a great push. We were able to get by Tom, and then I was able to just hold my line and pull it out. But no, great night of racing.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, as Raymond's been telling these guys, we've been waiting on the points and everything like that. So we're not sure who exactly the champion is. I think Tanner might have an answer here shortly, but we got to give you congratulations on that win. I mean, you made the move, and by the way, you were my pick, so we're 2 in a row for my picks not wrecking out and winning. So
shoot, yeah, man, you keep picking me then. Yeah, it was nice. Finished off the season strong. We had 3 straight wins here, so it was nice to finish off with 3 wins. But I'm pretty sure Chris has wrapped up the championship. I'd be very surprised if we were able to close that gap. He's been so consistent all year. He definitely deserves the championship.
All right, boys. Well, it's been a fun season, and you 3 drivers have been the class of the field, right? There's 9 wins out of 12 races won in this group that I'm speaking to right now. That is Stephen T. Johnson, Brian Zimmerman, Chris Carroll. Zimmy, you're the winningest driver with 450 points. You came home P3. You had 4 race wins, 7 top 5s, 9 top 10s. Stephen T. Johnson with 472 points, 3 race wins, 8 top 5s, 10 top 10s. But then we haven't said Carroll's number yet. So Stephen T. had 472. Chris Carroll had 476.
Wow, what a finish.
That
Two-
came close.
2 race wins, 9 top 5s, 10 top 10s. So Chris Carroll is season 1, the ButtKicker.com Retro Series champion. Man, oh man, 2 race wins, 9 top 5s, 10 top 10s. Stephen T. Johnson, 3 race wins, 8 top 5s, 10 top 10s. Brian Zimmerman, 4 race wins, 3 of them in a row, 7 top 5s, 9 top 10s. That's a season right there that anybody would kill to have. But that goes to show, Sam, Jason, well, all y'all are all in here with me. We're all on the mic, open mic right now. Consistency wins championships. I think the 9 top 5s, the 1 extra top 5 won you that championship, Chris. How do you feel about the season? All y'all. I mean, just speak whenever. I don't care.
Well, I like to speak up. Great job, Steven and Chris, on the 1 and 2 finish there in the points. Y'all did a great job, consistent all year. Good, clean drivers out here, always giving room when they need to, and racing you hard too. But congratulations to those guys. They definitely earned those 1 and 2 spots.
Jimmy, I think you missing the race. So, folks, peek behind the curtain. We offer 2 drop weeks. So there's 12 races, but only 10 of them is going to count. And what they do, whatever race is your worst finish, it basically gets dropped, deleted. And there's 2 of them. So your 2 worst finishes just get deleted. Never happened, right? And Zimmy, unfortunately, had to use one of those for when he wasn't here. Same goes Stephen T. Stephen had to use both of them, wasn't here, right? So if you ever have an off night, it puts you behind the points when you don't have those 2 drop weeks to fall back on. But Stephen, talk me through the season, and then we'll talk to our champion.
I mean, it was overall just a really fun season, and just enjoyed running. I just had a couple weeks that I couldn't make it, and one race I was broadcasting, one race I was just not feeling well that day. And I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's, you go back when you're 4 points short, you go back and just try to find any point that you missed, and it's like that 2x, for example, I missed the 0x bonus by 4 points, and that would have put us in a tie at the finish.
Wow. Right, and then it gets broke with the wins, right? And then
in which case
you would have had it. That makes it a little bit more saltier, right? I mean, that shows right there. I mean,
well, we also want to thank Steven because he did sacrifice a week to help broadcast.
Not only that, I forgot that. You want to know why he broadcasted? So I could race. He let me race Nashville Fairgrounds.
So what you're saying is I should get your points.
That's right.
No, let's re-roll and see what happens. No, I mean I mean, if we're going to keep it within 4 points, I mean, that's exciting. That's goes to show that there's really good driving going on in here, and sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't, and second to an outstanding driver is nothing to be ashamed about.
Right on. I like hearing that. I'm glad. I mean, I know it sucks, right? Everybody wants to win a championship. Chris Carroll, Mr. Big Ugly, gets him another one. Carroll, you ugly specimen. Talk me through that season. You can drive an 87, but we all know you can't drive a golf ball at all. Talk me through the season, brother.
Well, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I spent a lot of time racing Zimmy and Steven here up front. And, I mean, the guys up front here can really, really go. And it was, when you win something like this, I mean, it was up and down. There's times where you're behind the 8 ball and times where you're out front cruising. And, I mean, when you win a championship like this, when it's that competitive, that's what makes it even that much better is the competition. If you were racing a bunch of slow guys out there, I wouldn't be, so sweet. But these guys are so good, man. Zimmy and Johnson and all the guys that run up here. There's a few guys in here that are really, really fast in these 87s and fast in general. And it's really the competition that makes it, feel good at the end of the day. These guys are super good, Tanner. You can't even twitch out there and they get underneath you or they get beside you, or it's a lot of fun. It keeps you on your toes, and it especially in a car that I'm not all that used to. I only run it with these guys, so I mean it's a lot of fun out there. It's a big challenge, and it makes it all the better.
Right on. Well, folks, I want to thank y'all. Y'all showed up almost each and every week. I love this series. It's one of my favorite series that we do. I love calling it. Y'all have provided great entertainment. I'm so happy to have True Sim calling the action season 2. I mean, it's being talked about right now. We will see. But your season 1 champion, Chris Carroll, P2, Stephen T. Johnson, P3, Brian Zimmerman, Larry Bell, right home 4th in the standings, Jeffrey Clifton, right home 5th. Well, boys, I'm going to let y'all get out here and let you go celebrate. Thank y'all for a fantastic season. We're going to close up shop here momentarily, and congratulations to Chris Carroll.
Thanks for the broadcast, guys. We always enjoy it.
Thank you, Zimmy.
Yeah, congrats and thank you.
Thank you. All right, boys, let's pull up our results tab, and then it's going to be time to go dark, but just for under 24 hours. All goes to plan. We're going dirt racing tomorrow. See if we can pull up our results tab really quick. As you see right there, Brian Zimmerman, 4 race wins. Just came up a little bit short there at the end. Bright Home P1, Stephen Johnson, Chris Carroll, 1, 2, and 3. How fitting is it that 3 people in the points, they're racing for the end, and how they finish in the point standings, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, is 3rd, 2nd, and 1st how they finish tonight. Double points night matters, but ultimately tonight Chris Carroll was able to just escape by barely. Cale Butler brought home 4th, Dustin Lamb in 5th. Garrett Wiles, P6, Thomas Friedrichs in 7th, Larry Bells in 8th, Chris Paul Hamus 9th, with Jacob Lamb in 10th. Folks, I want to thank you for tuning in. If you're still with us, hit that thumbs up button. Helps out a ton. Be back out on track 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Crooked Line Racing. We're going dirty tomorrow. Pro Late Models, Eldora. But for myself, Tanner Marr, joined all season by Jason Raymond, and had a special guest, Sam Baumgartner, up in the booth tonight. Until next time, we'll see you.